coming up at 6.
New information in a sex scandal lawsuit filed against Notre Dame. A judge is deciding if you have the right to know details in the case.
We're learning new information in a double murder and kidnapping investigation.
First, fast, accurate, with Jennifer Copeland and Rick Schutt. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
And we have some breaking news just into our newsroom right now. Police are on the scene of a shooting in South Bend. Dispatch tells us a man walked into Memorial Hospital with a gunshot wound. He told officers it happened at the Corby Home Apartments that's near Edison Intermediate School. We have a crew heading to the scene right now. We'll have the very latest on air and, of course, on WSBT.com.
Meantime, we are learning more about what happened at this house on Blue Star Highway in Coloma. 2 bodies, 2 children missing.
Now tonight, though, the girls are fine, found safe in Colorado. They were with their dad. He's the suspect now behind bars.
Concerned relatives made that gruesome discovery. WSBT 22's Diane Daniels has been following this story all day for us, and she's at the live desk right now. Diane?
Well, Jennifer and Rick, a whole day went by, and concerned family members had not heard from the victims, so they went to the house to see if something was wrong. They never could have imagined the bloody scene they would find. Today, the crime tape is cleared, but the ladder still remains. Police say that relatives used it to get into this house when they couldn't get a hold of their family members who lived here, 27-year-old Renee Mitchell or her dad, 67-year-old John Mitchell. After they got inside, they rushed across the street to this pizza place to get help. They'd found Renee dead in an upstairs bedroom.
They left and came across the street. That's when I called 911, and they still didn't know where their father was. Or the little girls. They were upset about the little girls, too.
Once police got there, they found John Mitchell downstairs. He was dead from blunt force trauma.
An Amber Alert has been issued. Suspect is considered armed and dangerous if located.
That Amber Alert worked. Within about 6 hours, 4-year-old Nova Perez and her 3-year-old sister Luna were found. They were more than 1,100 miles away from home in a small town about an hour west of Denver. They were safe. They were with their father in their mother's stolen car. 24-year-old Alex Perez of Los Angeles was arrested, and efforts are currently underway to extradite him back to Michigan.
To think, who is this guy that we've never seen before, and all of a sudden we see his picture on the news, and where did he come from?
As the people who work at DiMaggio's Pizza are still trying to come to grips with what happened so close by, Michigan State Police say they believe Perez had been in Berrien County since Monday. They believe the killings and the parental kidnapping unfolded Wednesday night. Thursday was when an unsuspecting sister found Renee dead.
She was wrapped in a bloody blanket, and that's why they knew she was dead.
I pray for those little girls. I do.
Certainly an emotional case. So what about those little girls? A Michigan State Police investigator tells me right now they are in the custody of a child welfare agency in Colorado, but he does believe they will be returned to Michigan. In fact, family members of both the girls' father and mother are seeking custody. So who those girls end up with likely is going to be decided by the courts. Now, as for Alex Perez, I just got off the phone with the clerk of court in Clear Creek County, Colorado. She confirms he did make a court appearance this afternoon. He indicated he would not waive extradition to Michigan. He says he wants an attorney, and the judge refused to allow any bond for him. He's due back in court there in Colorado in 10 days. At the live desk, Diane Daniels, WSBT 22 News.
Good evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Ed Russo filling in for Matt Rudkin. Another gloomy, mild day out there. Some fog as well. And looking at still some cloudy skies on our First Alert weather cam overlooking South Bend. That view brought to you by St. Joseph Health Systems on First Alert Storm Tracker radar. Most of the rain now exiting the area. Still some across St. Joseph County, Michigan, but very, very light. We had a heavier burst come through around 4:30, but that has since lifted to the northeast and weakened. But as temperatures cool this evening, any lingering showers that pop up again will be mixing with some snowflakes, especially into the overnight hours. We're already at 36 in South Bend, 36 in Michigan City, 34 in Valparaiso, and already starting to drop into the upper 30s across the southeast half of the viewing area as well. So temperatures will continue to fall slowly. Any lingering showers, which will pop up again as we head through the evening, will be mixing with some snow showers overnight. As far as accumulation, not expecting much. Maybe a coating as we head through tomorrow. Highs only in the 20s, but then the story becomes a bitterly cold air for Sunday. Lake effect snow possible and well below zero wind chills. That's the main point of my forecast coming up in a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
All right, Ed, thank you. Does the public have a right to know? That is the question a judge will decide in a sexual harassment lawsuit. It involves allegations a former Notre Dame academic coach pressured students to have sex with her daughter. WSBT 22's Suzanne Spencer is following this story for us. And Suzanne, the attorneys are working to keep some of these details private.
The attorneys all met in private for about 40 minutes today before coming into the courtroom. The academic coach's attorney wants some of that information kept from the public. The student's attorney who filed the lawsuit agreed, saying this case is a sensitive one. Inside a St. Joseph County courtroom, a lawsuit against Notre Dame and a former academic coach is quietly moving forward. One of the defendants requested a protective order to keep some information from becoming public, at least for now.
That's an order that says that the parties are not to basically disclose information that we gain from exchanging information before matters go into the court.
Those matters detailed in an 11-page lawsuit. It alleges Jane Rowe, a former academic coach at the university, used her position and employment to coordinate a sexually and racially motivated inappropriate relationship between the student and her daughter. Why should the public not know this information that's in the discovery?
There's a lot of sensitive private information, and people's privacy interests need to be protected. There's federal laws that protect privacy for some of the information that's involved.
Some of that information released to WSBT 22 in November. Notre Dame hired a team of outside lawyers to look into the students' allegations, their findings detailed in a 6-page document. The summary detailed John Doe's side of the story. He claims the mother would ask about his sexual relationship with her daughter and once ordered the two to have sex. The academic coach's attorney, Ed Sullivan, says moving forward, he wants to keep sensitive information like that behind closed doors.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult to be accused of the things that she's been accused of, and we hope that this will be over with in a fair and speedy manner.
Notre Dame is also named in this lawsuit. I asked their attorney for comment after the hearing. He did not have one. A university spokesman also declined to comment. Now, the attorneys are working together right now. They have to determine what information will be kept confidential during this portion of the case. Now, Rick, however, if this case does go to trial, some of that information could be released to the public.
Suzanne, thank you. This man is pleading not guilty in the murder of Elkhart County native Amanda Blackburn. 24-year-old Deanna Gordon is charged with murder, burglary, and theft. Blackburn was shot and killed during a break-in back in November. She was pregnant with her second child. 2 other men are also charged in this case. Well, police are looking to see if this man is responsible for several burglaries in downtown South Bend. New at 6, the South Bend Tribune's Christian Scheckler reports 42-year-old Kevin Simmons is charged with the December break-in at a photography studio. Since mid-December, at least 6 firms reported similar stories to police. They say someone was breaking in and stealing wallets and equipment. Since Simmons' arrest, the reports have stopped.
Well, another bad day on Wall Street. Just minutes after opening, the Dow dropped around 400 points. At one point, it was down more than 500 points. The Dow closed down 390 points today, ending the day at 15,988. The Nasdaq also ended the day down 126 points at 4488. The CBS Evening News will have much more about this in about 20 minutes. Another push to lift Indiana's ban on Sunday alcohol sales. Representative Tom Dermody of LaPorte filed this bill. Unlike last year's proposal, this one would impose fewer restrictions on grocery stores and pharmacies. It would require them to keep alcohol in a separate area or limit alcohol displays to a single section.
Roughly 3,000 inmates at Westville Correctional Facility will soon have running water. Now, the broken water mains have been fixed. The facility is letting the 500,000-gallon tank fill and pressurize before returning water service to those inmates. And that's expected by midnight. Aging plumbing is being blamed for the breaks. I'll be on the lookout for potholes. INDOT says the warmer temperatures and rain following this week's cold snap are causing them to appear. Potholes form on older roads when water seeps into cracks and then freezes. Traffic helps loosen the pavement when the ice melts.
All right, new at 6. Since the recession in 2008, the RV industry has rebounded, reaching a 6-year high. WSBT 22's Danielle Kennedy takes us inside the 42nd annual RV and Camping Show at the Century Center in South Bend.
More than 80% of RVs built in North America are made right here in north central Indiana. Here at the Century Center, people are getting an opportunity to check some of those units out. The show's promoter tells me about 375,000 units were shipped from manufacturers to dealers last year. He says that means more jobs and even more job security for people making recreational vehicles. Well, the reason for the boom? The show's promoter says lower interest rates, low gas prices, and a stable stock market have given the RV industry new life.
It's a really good time to be in the RV industry right now. Dealers are doing well, which means the manufacturers are doing well, and that actually trickles down to the campgrounds as well. Our campgrounds have seen best years they've seen in the last 5 or 6 years.
The show will go on until 8 o'clock tonight and reopen again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Coming up tonight at 11, I'll tell you what the RV industry has learned since the recession and why more people are buying RVs. At the Century Center, I'm Danielle Kennedy, WSBT 22 News.
All right, Danielle, thank you. The rain is getting ready to transition to snow, and that means much colder air is on the way, too. Ed's tracking it all next.
Now, your accurate first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Ed Russo.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm filling in for Matt Rudkin tonight. Looks like we're off to a pretty gloomy start to the weekend, but it's going to get progressively colder as we head through, particularly the second half into Sunday. Wait till you see the high temperatures. But that's our first alert weather cam overlooking South Bend. Still a pretty cloudy sky over the region, and that's the same case for everywhere. But most of the showers have dissipated. We are starting to see more snow showers develop well to our northwest. That's going to be tracking our direction tonight. So wet roads still in place, but as temperatures fall below freezing, we could see some of those wet roads change over to some icy roads, particularly into your Saturday morning. So keep that in mind. You'll want to allow extra time as well. Already at or below freezing as you head out towards Chicago, sitting at 32 degrees. So the cold front right along the very back edge to the rain here, and you can see some snow showers starting to develop across eastern Iowa into Wisconsin. So that'll be swinging through overnight, and we'll see on and off snow showers throughout tomorrow, but not expecting anything more than a coating. Lots of cold air, though, up here across the eastern Dakotas, northwest Minnesota. That's where we have single-digit temperatures right now. So this whole chunk of Arctic air is headed our direction, and it's really going to start getting a lot colder as we head into Saturday night and Sunday. Now, tomorrow's going to be cold because we're only going to see highs in the 20s along with snow showers, but the real true Arctic air mass doesn't settle in until Saturday night and Sunday. So as the front passes, we'll see a burst of snow area-wide, and then lake effect starts up mainly Sunday evening and into Monday. So we'll definitely be seeing a few inches out of that, especially across southwest Michigan. But overnight tonight, any showers that pop up again, most likely in the form of snow. Not expecting much as we head through tomorrow, perhaps a coating in a few spots. Notice how winds are west-northwest. So as we head into Sunday with the lake effect, most of it is going to be confined to southwest Michigan. But as the Arctic front passes tomorrow night, everybody will see a quick burst of snow. There's the Arctic front. And then as we head into Sunday afternoon, lake effect begins to affect most of southwest Michigan and extreme northern parts of Indiana. So we're talking about 1 to 3 inches over most of the viewing area. And this is including the burst of snow we'll see Sunday morning with the passage of the Arctic front. And these are totals all the way through Monday. So we're talking 3 to 6 potentially over southwest Michigan, 1 to 3 as you head south into much of northern Indiana. And this is tomorrow night, temperatures dropping through the teens. And then Sunday afternoon, showing 16 in South Bend. I think we're going to be a few degrees cooler than that by this time on Sunday. So expecting single-digit readings by the end of Sunday as we get into Sunday evening. And wind chills by sunset, most likely 5 to 10 below zero. So tonight, 27 degrees, rain changing to snow showers as we head through tomorrow. Pretty much remaining in the 20s. We're not going to see a big swing in temperatures from overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. Expecting a coating in spots. And then as we head into Sunday evening, we're most likely going to be in the single digits. Wind chills Monday morning, 10 to 20 below zero, and more or less averaging 3 to 6 inches of snow, especially across southwest Michigan in total by Monday afternoon. So
cold, though.
Yeah, that's really the big story with this. And we're talking probably the most brutal wind chills, even more brutal than what we saw this past weekend. So,
All right. Bundle up.
Yep, that's the thing.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
All right, the Purdue Pep Band in town today trying to get children excited about music. We're going to take a look at what they did next at 6.
First to cover breaking news with Jennifer Copeland and Rick Shutt. Your accurate first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Matt Rudkin. And sports with Pete Byrne. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
Many of you are now on a 3-day weekend. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is Monday. The MLK Senior Men's Club celebrated Dr. King's birthday today. A free lunch was provided for the first 300 attendees. There was also a keynote speaker and a presentation of awards to outstanding community leaders.
A Purdue Pep Band visited hundreds of excited students in Elkhart. The Boiler Brass Band performed at the Roosevelt Steam Academy. It's part of an educational program called Partners in Music. Bands travel to schools around the state to help students get excited about music.
And that's the message, that music is a part of your life forever if you want it to be. It doesn't end at elementary school or junior high school or even college. And these are the kids that will go out and play in the community bands, and they will play in their churches.
Tonight, the Elkhart Central Pep Band and Purdue's band will play during basketball games at Northside Gym.
Yeah, a lot of games going on tonight.
A lot of games tonight, and also a very big game tomorrow we're going to talk about. Notre Dame goes to Duke. And, of course, the Irish had some epic moments against the Dukies last year. So can they get another one tomorrow? We'll talk about that. Plus, one of the most successful high school football coaches in the NIC is stepping down. Hear why Ben Downey says now is the right time to take a break from football. That's next.
Now, sports with Pete Byrne.
Tomorrow, Notre Dame has a chance to pick up what Mike Bray likes to refer to as a program win when the Irish pay a visit to 6th-ranked Duke and perhaps the most intimidating arena in college basketball. Notre Dame enjoyed 2 of their biggest wins and also their largest loss at the hands of the Blue Devils last year. The Irish beat Duke in a thriller at Purcell Pavilion in January, then knocked off the eventual national champs with an impressive showing in the ACC semifinals. But there was also that game at Cameron Indoor Stadium where the Dukies put it on the Irish by 30. One thing's for sure, Notre Dame knows they're in for a wild afternoon.
It's really just crazy because the court honestly feels smaller than it actually is, and it just feels like they're really on top of you. But really the key is just staying patient, especially offensively, and not letting the crowd rush you.
Small, and it's loud, so it gets really loud in there. And then, you know, they got a great fan base, and you're playing a really great team too. So all those variables make it tough.
We're all really excited. Obviously, anytime you get to play Duke, you know, they're a great team, great program. And, you know, last year we kind of struggled when we played at Cameron, so I think we're all excited to get another shot.
Meanwhile, the Irish women are back in town after winning their 20th consecutive ACC game last night. The Irish were held to their second lowest point total of the season, but still managed to best Boston College by 13, thanks to one of their best defensive showings of the year.
It's always great to come out with a win. We found a lot of good things defensively. We held them to under 60 as we've done for the past 4 games. So I'm really pleased with where we are defensively. Offensively, we're shooting the ball well, just under 50%. Can't really complain about that, but the pace was really slow, and it was hard for us. It frustrated us. I think I know it frustrated me. We'd like to score a lot of points. We want to get out in transition, and we weren't able to do that.
And you know Coach McGraw has to be ecstatic about this. As we told you last night at 11, incoming Notre Dame freshman Jackie Young of Princeton became the state's all-time leading scorer in girls basketball last night. She passed Shauna Zolman, the former Wawasee standout, with a free throw in the 4th quarter. Young now has 3,086 career points and counting. Of course, it'll be a busy night tonight on the high school basketball courts in Indiana and Michigan. Here's the list of games our crew will be heading to. You can catch all the highlights here at 11 on WSBT 22's Hoop It Up. And some breaking news tonight in high school sports. Ben Downey is stepping down as head football coach at South Bend St. Joe after 6 seasons. Downey told me this afternoon his 3 children are getting to the age where they have their own sports and activities on a regular basis, and he wants to be a part of that. He leaves some big shoes to fill. In 6 seasons, Downey won 51 games and lost just 26, and led the Tribe to 5 sectional title games in his 6 years and consecutive state championship game appearances in 2010 and 2011. He also told me that he wrestled with this decision a long time and that he doesn't think this will be the end of his coaching career. He'd like to get back into it someday when his kids are a little older, but right now his time is better spent at home. We've got a lot more on this on our website.
Yeah, nothing wrong with putting family first, that's for sure.
No, it's probably the wise choice.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
Looking at that 7-day forecast.
Yeah, big changes this weekend. We cool down big time, especially for the second half. So we're looking at 12 for a high on Sunday. We'll see some lake effect snow Sunday evening into Monday morning. Wind chills Monday morning, 10 to 20 below zero. So yeah, you can see those highs are brutal. But as we head into the overnight hours tonight, some nuisance snow showers, wet roads, becoming a little bit icy as temperatures fall back below freezing. So keep that in mind for your Saturday morning.
Take it slow out there. Ed, thanks a lot. Thank you for joining us.
Have a great night.